Welcome to the Bank First Ranger Hour. Super Talk Mississippi 93.7 Spotlight on Northwest Community College. And you can listen to our live stream at supertalknorthms.com. Just click on the link for the Bank First Ranger Hour. Now, here's your host, Gary Darby.
Another chance for us to get to hang out between 9 and 10, North Mississippi. Thanks for joining us today on what is a Bank First Ranger Hour, Thursday, March 2025 edition of the show. Let me tell you what's coming up on today's program. We will get our usual little banter here to open things up, talk about what's happening weather-wise in North Mississippi, and then going to go ahead and jump into some of the sports and things that have been happening at NWCC. Take a break, and we will talk with the Alumni Professional Achievement Award winner, Justice Bobby Chamberlain. We'll find out a little bit about Justice Chamberlain, the old bio, and then what's going on now and winning this award and being honored on the 29th. With everyone else we've already talked to, all the other award winners at the soiree, where the foundation raises money to help for students and people that might need that to help them get their education at Northwest. That event, again, all at the Heindl Center for the Performing Arts. Chapel Hart's going to perform in 9 days, so all of that coming up. Justice Bobby Chamberlain comes up in our first interview. In the second interview, we're going into the fine arts department, bring John Ungurait back into the picture. We'll talk jazz band and things with John coming up in the second portion of the show today. So there's where we stand in the world of the Bank First Ranger Hour. All right, into the sports world we go. We're going to start with softball first, as sophomore pitcher Abby Rogers has now picked up 4 saves this season, has 6 for the career, and has now set the all-time saves lead at NWCC in the world of softball. She picked up one in one of the last doubleheaders against Mississippi Delta in a 4-1 win, where Morgan Bruton actually moved to 12-1 as the starter. Northwest getting the double dip sweep there, and so far on the season, Coach Bramlett and the softball program off to a 23-3 start. 6 straight wins, 4-2 inside the conference in Mississippi. And next up for them is a weekend trip to Wesson, where they will take on number 7 Colin. So a couple of nationally ranked softball teams go at it Saturday at 1 and 3. Next softball games on the Northwest campus Sunday. Now, rain late, so they look like they'll be able to play at 3 and at 5 against Jackson State out of Jackson, Tennessee. Non-conference double dip there. And then before we do our program again next week, they'll be back into the conference play at Holmes in Goodman on Tuesday. So 6 softball games between this show and the next for the Rangers, who are, again, 23-3 overall, 6 straight wins, haven't lost a game in Senatobia, haven't lost a game on a neutral site, 5-3 on the road, which is where they hit next, and will be playing Saturday in Wesson against number 7 Colin. Baseball news, Coach Mark Carson. He's been on the program several times. A great guy, and now all-time winningest baseball coach at Northwest. By getting a win over Mississippi Delta on Tuesday, he surpasses Coach Jim Miles, who the field is named for there on the Northwest campus. And Mark getting a second win on that day. Now Coach Carson has 558 all-time wins as the head coach at NWCC. He'll tell you there have been a lot of really good baseball players and baseball teams throughout his time there. Shout out to friend Coach Mark Carson. 558 career wins as the Northwest Ranger baseball coach. The Rangers are 19-8 in baseball. They've won 2 straight, 2-4 inside the conference as they opened up at number 4, well, by playing number 4 Jones at home, and then at number 2 Pearl River. But they won those 2 games over Mississippi Delta to now be 2-4 inside the conference. They will host Colin on Saturday at 2-4 in Senatobia, and then host who was at the last poll, number 24 Holmes, on Wednesday. So a lot of baseball coming up there in Senatobia on the campus with Colin on Saturday and Holmes on Wednesday for Coach Carson, who tries to continue to climb towards that 600-win plateau, getting number 557 and 558 in the double dip over Mississippi Delta on Tuesday. 7-6 and 11-5 were those scores. All of the sports you can keep up with at NWCC Rangers.com. They'll have that and those on campus, your ability to watch with Ranger TV. So all of that in the world of sports. And if you go and you look at NWCCRangers.com, you'll see other items of business with tennis, with different things that have happened. Basketball players winning some awards. Golf obviously is in action. Women's soccer getting ready to maybe with some exhibition happening in the fall. Rodeo going on. All of it right there at your fingertips by going to NWCCRangers.com. Then just peruse around. You'll find it, whatever you're looking for in the world of Northwest athletics. Still to go on the program, second half of the show, John Ungurait going to join us from the fine arts world, and I think we're talking the jazz band and things of that nature with John. But next, it's the Alumni Professional Achievement Award winner, Justice Bobby Chamberlain. We'll get into the conversation with him about winning that award and more as the show continues. It is 9:16. Thanks for being with us, North Mississippi. Let's see what we can find out about Justice Chamberlain next.
This hour is Everything Northwest. Your connection to Northwest Mississippi Community College and powered by Bank First. Thanks for joining us on the Bank First Ranger Hour. Join the conversation now by texting 662-426-1093.
Today on our Bank First Ranger Hour, we continue with our award winners for the upcoming soiree at Northwest. You know what it's all about. We've given you all of the details of the fundraiser for the foundation. It's the main one. It's how we can help some students that might need that help and other things around Northwest Community College. And we will continue our conversation today with the Alumni Professional Achievement Award winner. It is Justice Bobby Chamberlain. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm terrific. Good to speak to you today.
Absolutely. We've had a long conversation before we actually get on and get to do this, and kind of realized, our paths did cross along the way at then NWJC back in the day. But if you will, start with your bio. We kind of do this for the first time we talk with any guest anyway. What part of North Mississippi are you from, and then why did you choose the then Northwest Junior College?
Well, I'm from Hernando. I was born and raised here. I graduated high school here, and I tell a lot of people sometimes I sort of went to Northwest for all the wrong reasons. I followed a girl there, and of course that didn't work out. But then found out that I had made probably the best decision in my life. I started there in 1983, right after graduating high school, and I hate to date myself, but it was Northwest Junior College at the time. Went there, of course, for 2 years, and it was just the perfect educational experience for me at that time in my life.
Our paths were there at the same time, as we said, and a lot alike as to how we got there, why we got there, and we both started in different majors on the campus there. You want to start in, what did you start in there, Justice Chamberlain?
I started in radio and television communications. Of course, they obviously told me really quickly that I had a face for radio, as the old saying goes.
That's right. I've got that.
I did that for the first year I was at Northwest, and then kind of wasn't sure which direction I wanted to go, and moved over into something else before eventually settling into my degree at Ole Miss and going to law school.
Yeah, we'll give a shout out to Delane Russell and Nancy Patterson for that program that was there as I started in pharmacy school. And then as I told you, those 2 p.m., 3 p.m. labs got me in another direction. And eventually Dr. Ann Witten got me into the radio and television part of things. And so it's kind of funny how all that works out.
The science part of it, I was told there would be no math, so I had to get away from there.
Yeah, I understand that totally. But Northwest, and here's the thing that I talk about with all of them, the other award winners as well, whether it's been Dr. Barnes we've talked to or Dr. Field, who did not go to Northwest, but now works with the athletics teams and does those things. I know you found this to be the same. Once Northwest grabs a hold of you, it never lets go. I mean, you're family for life. Don't you feel that's correct?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that's one of the best things about Northwest when I was there. It was a community. And today, I mean, I have great friends from Ole Miss. I have great friends from law school and great friends from my professional life. But I think the longest, most endearing relationships I have came from my time at Northwest, because it was the right size that you could know most everybody, not everybody, of course, but it was just a community that you felt at home. You didn't necessarily realize you were in a classroom setting because you felt like you were there with your friends.
You then, worked your way into law school, and then, boom, here you go, and it's been a long and very successful career. Can you start about your beginning in law? What was the first job that got you on the start to where you are now?
Well, my first job was here in Hernando, working with Bill Alston, Billy Myers, and Mary Monteith in a law firm here, and started there, worked my way up, ran for the Mississippi State Senate and served in the Mississippi Senate for 5 years, and then served 12 years as a circuit court judge before getting elected in 2016 to the Mississippi Supreme Court, and have served there since.
Did you ever think in those days of walking Northwest Community College that where you are today was possible?
I don't think the question of whether it was possible is the right question, because it didn't even enter my mind.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Right.
Well, now that you are on the Mississippi Supreme Court, could you just kind of tell the people what it does mean to you that you are one of those that sit on that?
Well, I'm certainly very proud to be on the Mississippi Supreme Court. I think we do certainly extremely important work. Proud of the effort that I and others on my behalf have put in to help me achieve that goal. And like I said, it's the highest court in our state. We get to make very important decisions emanating from our lower courts. And I'm just honored. I'm honored the people put their trust in me to have such a distinguished position.
Again, we're talking to the Alumni Professional Achievement Award winner, Justice Bobby Chamberlain. Have you made many trips back to the campus, as I have over the years, and just watch it grow and to see what is happening there now under the leadership of Dr. Heindl?
I have, and I almost do not recognize it for all the development, but of course some of the old favorites are still there, so I know I'm in the right place. But I've certainly been back for various events and football games and the such. But it's the first time I went back after, I can't remember when the major renovation was, but it was just like walking onto a new campus.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, Yallowbusha dorm is now, part of academics and things of that nature right there on the Northwest campus on front, which I was familiar with, and, going and spending time through there and all of the other buildings at that are there. It's become quite the place, and now with the Performing Arts Center, Justice Chamberlain, it's a draw for the entire state of Mississippi in our quaint little area of Senatobia.
Oh, absolutely, and it's taken on it has just grown in importance, and of course makes me proud because I was there when it was certainly very important to me, but it was certainly simpler, and they have just grown exponentially. And I think that shows around the state. I mean, as you said, the Performing Arts Center, I have people all the time tell me that know I went to Northwest and say what a fantastic location that is for various events.
Absolutely. Top academic place. They're doing great work there. They're retaining students. They're growing. The athletics are all doing very well. And I'll get to some of that, people, as the show rolls along as well. Now give us your thoughts when you found out you were winning this award.
Well, first, shocked and surprised. You're always honored anytime somebody gives you an award. Certainly, when it's an award that involves a place that was so important to you, and so important to your development, and so important to getting to the position that I've gotten to. So I was, after getting over the surprise and shock, I was just deeply honored, and just thought, I'm glad to be able to receive the recognition, but I'm also glad that Northwest gets the recognition of being able to say that's one of our alums, and saying that with I hope some pride.
Absolutely, I think it definitely goes both ways, without a doubt. And before we get done, you did mention Ole Miss along the way. As well. First time ever, which I did a lot of, obviously still do, a lot of sports broadcast at Ole Miss. I got my start, really, when David Keller moved over and did, all the men's sports with the women's basketball team. This is the first time ever that both men and women's basketball teams have been in the NCAA tournament in the same year. So we got some good things going on. In basketball, the men will be playing on Friday against either San Diego State or North Carolina in Milwaukee, and the women's basketball team is playing Friday in Waco, Texas against Ball State. Good time for hoops.
Well, as a Rebel grad, I'm certainly looking forward to the matchup. I hope it's North Carolina just so we can take down one of the Blue Bloods, but certainly also be following Coach Joe and she should be hosting, so I hate that didn't happen.
I agree with you there wholeheartedly. But, maybe that'll fuel the fire just a little bit, and that'll help them boost them along the way there in that tournament as well. It has been a true pleasure talking with you and getting a chance. You would think at that point Northwest, not really that big a campus, but yet two guys that maybe we did walk through the same halls at some point in time, very close, and just never knew it. And now we're just getting a chance through a microphone and a telephone to talk to one another. But it's been a pleasure catching up with you today. Any final thoughts before we go? Other things you might want to say about Northwest or to the people in general of North Mississippi?
I would say, first of all, well, I guess from my professional standpoint, and since I get this opportunity, thank you to the people of North Mississippi for putting their trust in me. I'm honored with that, and hope that I live up to their expectations. As relates to Northwest, I just obviously give it 5 stars. As I say, I would encourage anyone that's looking to continue their education. I know, sometimes people are concerned about a community college, and I can do nothing but give my highest recommendation to someone continuing their education to go to Northwest and build that community, and then, of course, if you desire, move on to the next level of education.
Justice Bobby Chamberlain, thank you for your time today. I know your time is precious. We appreciate that. Congratulations on winning the Alumni Professional Achievement Award, and maybe one day, in a good way, we'll see each other face to face.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
More of our program is coming up in just a few.
Thanks for listening to the Bank First Ranger Hour, your connection to Northwest Mississippi Community College on Super Talk Mississippi 93.7 and streaming live at supertalknorthms.com. Just click on the link for the Bank First Ranger Hour.
And I want to thank Justice Bobby Chamberlain for being on with us. A chance to talk and record with him earlier. Obviously, we were talking about basketball and the NCAA tournament going on, things of that nature. But his winning the award of the Alumni Professional Achievement at Northwest Community College, we thank the Justice for being on our program today. So another gentleman that was on campus at the same time as Old Darb is our guest. I shouldn't say Old Darb if I'm going to talk about a guy that's my age. John Ungurait, welcome to the program, sir.
Hi, Gary. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Things are good. Good to catch up with you and chat with you a little bit as well. Things moving along in this spring world of fine arts. Everything good in your building?
Yes, sir. It's just kind of a whirlwind. We have concerts pretty much now until the first week of May.
John, let's begin with Jazz Band, if you don't mind. I believe that's the first of the concerts coming up. Kind of tell the people when, where, and maybe some of the things they'll hear in this upcoming concert.
All right, so the Jazz Band Concert or Jazz Ensemble Concert is on the 3rd of April, which is not this Thursday, or not today, but next Thursday. We have two groups playing. Our second jazz ensemble under the direction of Andy Sanders, and then the Jazz Ensemble 1, which is the ensemble I direct, will start in the Heindl Center at 7 o'clock on the 3rd. Admission is free. We'd love to have everybody. We're playing a variety of stuff. I think second band is playing 25 or 6 to 4, which is an old Chicago tune. I'm doing Knock on Wood with a fantastic vocalist, as well as some Chick Corea, La Fiesta, some old standards like Front Burner, which is a Count Basie tune, Satin Doll, as well as some other tunes. Should be a lot of fun.
John, members of this jazz band, are they all music majors? Do you have any that are in the band? I know in the marching band there'll be some that aren't music majors, but are all of these individuals maybe going towards a music degree of some kind?
No, sir. We have majors of all types. Now, we do have a good number of music majors in those ensembles, but you would find, I think my lead alto saxophone is a forensic science major. I have trumpet players that are in the VOTEC program. So it comes from all aspects of our campus, and it gives a wide variety. Now, all these kids are part of the marching band or part of band. So we have that going for us. So they're all pretty well-trained musicians, have played, for numbers and numbers of years. And we put a good many of these students in our jazz ensembles into other programs in the area. The Mississippians, which is the top jazz band at Ole Miss, has had our drummers 3 or 4 times make their top band. We have our former saxophone player that played with us last year transferred to the University of Memphis and is the only undergraduate to get into their jazz program at the University of Memphis. So we have kind of a proud heritage of a lot of great kids.
Assistant Director of Bands, Applied Percussion Instructor, Jazz and Steel Bands. John, a little bit of all of it in the world of music. What about scholarship opportunities for things like this?
All right, so the scholarships, both vocal, instrumental, art, as well as theater scholarships are all available. I can talk more about the band scholarships than anything else, of course. Those scholarships will run from tuition to room, board, and tuition, depending on auditions. So a student, other than books and fees, depending on how well they play, can go here for pretty much for free. So it's a great deal. Now, it's also a lot of work. Let me explain. They will earn their money.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, you march in the marching band, Gary. You understand that, when it's 114 degrees outside and you're out in the sun during band camp for 8 hours a day, it gets a little hot.
Absolutely. Yeah, the old knees and back still bark a little bit because of some of that moving around and things of that nature. But I think, as we've talked over time, the students that you have tend to be very good at finding how to multitask, how to get all of those things done. Be a normal
and
student.
Keep their schoolwork up.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Do lots of things, and they're really good at it.
So I know we have, as you just mentioned, the Jazz Band Concert coming up next Thursday. But over the past couple of shows, and in fact, our last guest will be honored at the upcoming soiree. I know you guys are going to be involved in that.
Right. So the jazz band will play starting about, about 5:15, 5:30, maybe 5:45, in time for people to arrive and see us. We're going to be playing out in front of the Heindl Center at that time, and we'll take a little bit of a break and then come back around 6:45 and play till about 7:15. And the soiree is a great event. It's an event to honor our alumni as well as other people, but it's also a real important fundraising event for our foundation office. So Patty Gordon is in charge of the foundation, along with Meg Crockett, who is helping put on this program. And this scholarship money, or these foundations, go into scholarships for all types of students, not just band students. It also helps some students pay for books as well as a bunch of other things. They're all usually attached to a person, so I can talk about my youngest son who's graduating in the spring. As a music major, he has the Lauren Tallow Scholarship. Lauren was a wonderful young lady. Her mother, Luan, was my church organist. She was tragically killed her senior year in high school on Mother's Day. And so in honor of her, they set up that scholarship. It's been going on for about 20 years now. So it's a wonderful thing and a wonderful program to have to help all of our students. So it's a fantastic event.
Absolutely. John, I appreciate your time and chatting with us this morning. For the people that may want to know a little bit more about the bands that we've been talking about and any upcoming event or things in the fine arts building that you want to discuss, where should we send them?
All right, so you can send them, have them email me at jbungurait@northwestms.edu, and I can make sure that gets to the proper place, whether it's our full band scholarships or our choral department or our theater department, etc. Or they can call me at my office, 662-562-3335, and just leave me a message, and I'll make sure I can forward it to the people who it needs to get to.
John, another pleasure talking with you. Have a good day, my friend.
All right, take care, Gary. Have a good one.
John Ungurait, in the world of music, talking with us today as he, again, Assistant Director of Bands, Applied Percussion Instructor, jazz and steel bands as well. His office number, again, 562-3335, or as he mentioned, if you want to email in, jbungurait, that is UNGURAIT, at northwestms.edu. Back to the soiree. We'll give you some more, and again, we'll be actually week of the soiree next week when we do this program. But we have talked with the award winners and things throughout, with whether it was, first of all, Dr. Robert Barnes, who got the Young Alumni Professional Achievement Award today, Justice Bobby Chamberlain, the Alumni Professional Achievement Award winner. We talked with the Spirit of Northwest Award winner, Dr. Ed Field, on the program. Joe Azar joined us from the Panola Partnership for the Business Connection. They will be honored at the soiree as well. And again, this will be on the 29th, and it is the college's premier fundraising and community recognition event at the Heindl Center of the Performing Arts on the main campus in Senatobia. Now, it is going to be called Masquerade Among the Stars, and it is, a formal ticketed event with a performance of Chapel Hart highlighting the night. The sisters, Danica and Devin Hart, along with their first cousin, Troy Swindle, will be there to perform for you, and you can either take in the whole, black tie fun, do everything that you want with the Masquerade Among the Stars, or you can just go to the event and listen to Chapel Hart. But Patty Gordon and company, and I know John gave her a shout-out as well, do a tremendous job in the foundation and helping and raise money and do things. You can go to northwestms.edu, or you can go to heindlcenter.org and get your tickets. They're on sale, and you do that, and what you help do, again, is help in some scholarship money for students that might need the help along the way, a celebration of community and entertainment as well. They call it the Northwest Soirée, Masquerade Among the Stars. That is on the 29th, and all of it will get started. As John said, the jazz band will start playing things in around 5 or a little after that, and then the whole night continues with the party and the fun until around 8:30 or more when we get Chapel Hart. But you can go get tickets. You can go get tickets for the entire soiree or just tickets for the concert only, whatever you might want, at heindlcenter.org or northwestms.edu. So all of that happening on Saturday night, March 29 in Senatobia. And, of course, there are events coming up that you can go look and find out more about with the Heindl Center, the Commodores coming in April, Priscilla Presley making her way in May, other things that will continue, and the fall slate. They will have another great run of guests, artists, plenty of different genres and things for us to go and enjoy in the world of music, and all of that right there on the Northwest campus at the Heindl Center for the Performing Arts. Check them all out. They've got something for you, I promise, along the way. We're at the back end of the program, and we want to thank John for being on with us, talking about the jazz band, their upcoming concert next week, the soiree as well, and then Justice Bobby Chamberlain, who is on our program today. Another Bank First Ranger Hour in the books, a Thursday, March 20, 2025 edition of the program. Thank you, Bank First, for being a part of it. Thank you, Northwest Community College, Justice Chamberlain, John Ungurait, and you, the fan, the listener. We appreciate you all. So long.